Thank you. Thank you. So now, I was telling Brad and Mark backstage, I've been working conventions now for 45 years, all over the world. I have never seen a convention like this. This was phenomenal, you know? And I think one of the most brilliant parts of it is when all you folks are up at the front here, and BK said, just sit down. Usually they'd say, okay, now go on back there and sit down. That was brilliant on his part. I want to give you possibly a little different perspective on this revolution, because I went through a revolution many, many years ago, about 52 years ago. There's a lot of people here going through a revolution, but it's inside, it's not outside. And that's really where it starts. Everything you see happening in this company is all happening because of something that happened inside a few people, and then it was supported by the wisdom of the executive staff in this company. And this thing has taken on a life of its own, and you're finding young people all over the place that are motivating their parents now. You see? The revolution that has to take place is inside ourselves. I was talking to Mark at the back, and he was talking about culture. And I said, well, you know, culture is really a paradigm. That's what a culture is. Culture is nothing but a group of habits. When you talk about a culture, a different country, or a corporate culture, you're talking about the habit patterns in that particular group, in the company or in the country. And when you get past the culture, people are essentially the same. But the culture makes an enormous difference. To sit in here and see some of the stories that you're going to see from the front of this room, it's going to move you, but unfortunately, many people go home and whatever moved inside went right back to where it was again. And the change just doesn't happen. And if that change is going to happen, you're going to have to make it happen yourself when you leave here. A paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. Very little thinking. If you watch people moving, they don't think to move. You don't think to get dressed. You might give some thought to what you're going to put on, but not how you're going to put it on. When you watch people doing things, driving their car, they're not thinking. It's all automatic. Their mind is off somewhere else. Well, this is controlled by a program that's in our subconscious mind. And it's the very reason why 90-some% of the population live their entire life and never do anything of any consequence. The beautiful part about this is that if you get caught up in this, your paradigm will change. I was sitting talking to Alex and Bryson, a couple of them in the hotel, in the coffee shop. I come in to have breakfast with Linda and Colleen, and they were sitting, so I went around, sat down, talked to them. And I was congratulating on what they've done, because they're just making the thing sing. And we got talking about why people don't follow it. Their paradigm's got a grip on them. Friends that you've got, they'll watch you get a nice car, earn money, and then they'll go the other way. And as I said, some of them that you think are your friends or have been your friends, they will stop talking to you. And I think it was Bryce said it's already happened. You see, I went through a similar thing when I was 26, only I did it alone. I got into the book, into Think and Grow Rich, and everything in my life changed overnight. No formal education, no business experience, a horrendous work record, but all of a sudden I'm earning tens of thousands of dollars, took it over $1 million, and I had no idea what I was doing. But people that I thought were my friends, a lot of them stopped talking to me. And I was telling Alex now, I said, they will resent you, some people, because you're so successful. And you must not let those people bother you. They're not ready. But there's all kinds of people that are ready. And being a great example is so important. Do you know, Joe Barker wrote the book Paradigm back around 1990. And it's an incredible book. But he said to be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. In other words, you've got to be willing and able to get in on this revolution. You've got to get it inside. Not outside, inside. And if you don't, it's not going to happen. We see stories of people that have come from the back. I was talking to one person who wasn't even here last year, but he's in the black chair. He was over, I'm not sure who it was, but he was moving pretty fast. But you've got to be willing, and then you have to be able. You've got to be willing to do the work. You know, when you see these young people, men and women going to ambassador and star ambassador, in nothing, flat, they're just going like rockets. They're working. They're not just sitting, letting it happen. They're out there talking to people. And they're making group presentations. When you make up your mind, you're going to change your paradigm. Every day is another opportunity to change your life. And it can just keep getting better and better and better. I think it was Alex asked me something about Think and Grow Rich. I said, I read it every day. I shave every day. I get dressed. I have a shower every day. These are habits. I don't have to think, should I shave? Should I shower? Should I get dressed? You automatically do it. Well, it's a habit to read this book. And you think of what's in it. I just opened this. It opened in persistence. Napoleon Hill studied the lives of 500 people. He spent his whole life doing it. And these were successful people. I mean, the real heavy hitters. And he found that there was a golden thread running through their life. And he took it and he put it in this book, put it in the laws of achievement from which this book came. Well, you're going to find with this YPR group, there's a golden thread running through them. They're all doing something similar. But your age hasn't got anything to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. They're just getting caught. I was saying to Linda the other day, I said, they're working in the right place. I said, every year a whole crew comes back into school, new ones. They could just stay there and keep recruiting the same place over and over and over again. You know? You want to get into the habit of doing something that's going to guarantee you moving ahead. I'm in the habit of reading this. I've been in the habit of reading it now for half a century. And every day, I have an opportunity to change something in my life. And my life just keeps getting better, and it keeps getting better every day. But it doesn't happen by accident. The beautiful truth is that every one of us here can really write our own ticket. Now, I want to make the focal point here a personal growth proclamation. I came across this shortly after I started to read that book. And anybody that follows this will not only become very wealthy, they will help a lot of other people become very wealthy. You know, a Spanish distiller one time said, the good life is expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but it isn't any good. Well, we can do so much good with money. My company supports schools in Africa. The president and CEO of our company is going to Africa this year to help them build it. Okay? And we tithe 10% of everything our company brings in, and we're building schools. We've got a lot of schools over there. We're doing it with Cynthia Kersey from the Unstoppable Foundation. Well, that makes a big difference. Here's kids going to school that wouldn't go to school. They get nourishing food, they get medical care, you know, just beautiful things because there's some money. Well, you get caught up in what I'm going to share with you here, and I guarantee you, your life will just keep getting better and better and better. Now, I'm speaking from experience. I've probably been in this business longer than anybody alive now. I think Rowan came in about the same time as me, Jim Rowan. Ziegler came in just about the same time. One of them might have been ahead of me a little bit, but they're both gone, and I'm not going with them.